Alright, and welcome back to episode 2 of the SPL Round Up. First game is Aberdeen versus Hibs. It was Hibs' first win at Pittodrie in 9 years. The overall game was, I would say in the first half, 50-50. Aberdeen missed a great chance to go 1-0 up through Cal Hendry. Ultimately it was Hibs that obviously went 1-0 up, just on the stroke of half time. 41st minute I think it was, strike from Christian Deutsch, fairly good goal, very well worked. It was about, I think, just on the edge of the box, good volley past the goalkeeper. Questionable I would say, but a goal's a goal. The second half for Aberdeen, they picked it up massively, creating chance after chance, failing to score obviously as they lost 1-0. As this season has been really, creating about good 10-15 chances, but not getting that clear-cut chance or two to ultimately score to decide the game, as this game was crucial for Aberdeen to try and nick third away from Hibs, but ultimately it wasn't able to happen, and Hibs secure third place, their best ever season in the Premiership I think since 2005, the 2004-2005 season. It has been a disappointing campaign for Aberdeen, I would say. Really struggling to break into a top 3 position, looking more likely to drop out of a top 4 in a European place than actually challenge for third. Going out both the cups I think in the last 16 both times, I might be wrong. But ultimately, very poor, not very poor, but it's a slightly disappointing campaign from Aberdeen. Game 2 is Ross County versus Hamilton Accies. It was 2-1 on the night to Ross County. At Dingwall, Accies went 1-0 up for a free kick around about the edge of the box from Scott McMahon, before I think a couple of minutes later being pegged back through, I think what was a long ball from Jason Naismith up to Jordan White, which brought it down, laid off the Blair Spittle, fired across into the far corner, which then ultimately obviously put Ross County back level for 1 each. Then for ultimately Accies, I would say, to pick up more, and the kind of after they went to 1 each, but also failing to kind of nick that goal before half time, which would have obviously have put them in a much better position to what obviously happened. I think after half time, the second half was more 50-50, with I think Ross County creating slightly better chances. Obviously, another assist for Jordan White on the night for a goal from Charlie Larkin it was. There's another strike from the edge of the box. This game was edge of the box central. It was obviously I think another long ball, played into Jordan White, brought down, plays out to Charlie Larkin, takes a touch or two, fires across the face of goal, into the far corner, left foot strike, meant that the goalkeeper for Accies couldn't save it, put County 2-1 up, right about the 75th minute I think it was, and ultimately secured a vital 3 points for Ross County, which now sees Accies virtually relegated and virtually ends their 7-year stay in the Scottish Premiership. With the result, with Accies losing last night and Ross County, well, obviously beating them, but Kilmarnock drawn with St Mirren, should have beat St Mirren, means that Accies now need to beat Kilmarnock by a 9-goal swing in Sunday's game to have a chance of staying up, but that would only be via the playoffs. Also, since Accies kind of came back up to the Scottish Premiership, I think for the 2014-15 season, apart from their first season back, they've been battling relegation for 6 seasons since then, and now find themselves eventually, not yet confirmed, but virtually down. The third game is Livingston versus Rangers. Livingston obviously fighting with St Johnstone for, I think, the 5th place position in the Premiership, but since finding themselves struggling now for form, it is now a thing of, after last night's performance, Rangers from start to finish, I think, were miles better, creating more clear-cut chances. In the first half, there wasn't really too many for either team. The only kind of thing was James Tavernier scoring a penalty, which I would say was very soft. Watching the game back, I thought it was going to be a corner, not a penalty. Tavernier obviously did score eventually from a corner, penalty. Apart from that, the first half was very boring. Apart from that, second half was obviously a lot better. Teams kind of picked their pace up. It was obviously a long ball from Tavernier, just inside the bit of Livy's half, to then play it up to, I think it was Ryan Kent, who then played a 1-2 with Morelos, to then ultimately get it for 2-0 Rangers, ultimately. That kind of killed the game off, but I think minutes later, Livy went up the other end, and I think it was at Jay's Kabia for them, I don't exactly remember, missed basically an open goal, 5-6 yards out, hit the post, don't know how, should have pulled one back, but maybe the 83rd minute I think it was a quick counter from Rangers, which saw Cedric Eaton down the line, across the box, in for Ines Hadji, to score for 3-0, which secured the 3 points for Rangers, to move them, the champions now, to 99 points and 1 game away from an invincible season, which the result against Livy last night, fully deserved. We'll see on Saturday if they can do the invincible season. The fourth game is Dundee United versus Motherwell. Dundee United started off this first half dominant, going 1-0 up, first like from Shankland. It was, I think, Logan Chalmers that cut in, tried to call one left for corner, but deflected off Shankland, wrong footing Liam Kelly to put Dundee United into an early lead. Minutes later, he did end up missing a penalty, which I think was a soft penalty also. It did fly past the left hand post, which obviously let off for Motherwell. Didn't really wake them up, because about 20 minutes later, 50 minutes later, they eventually did go 2-0 down through Archie Meekson, who I think it was simply pulled back on the edge of the box, first time, far post, right foot finish first time, put them 2-0 up into a dominant display at half time, which you'd have seen Dundee United thinking in cruise control, but early in the second half, Motherwell did pull one back through Chris Long, ultimately a bit of dodging and weaving, which then seen Devante Cole slipping Chris Long for a goal back, which was a slightly deflected effort I think it was, but nonetheless it was probably what Motherwell deserved, I would think, as they did pick up the pace quite a lot in the start of the second half. The game fizzled out a wee bit, teams having half chances, whatever it was, not really clear cut, until I think it was the 91st minute, to where a long ball from Liam Kelly flicked on by Ricky Alami, which was then thundered home on a half volley while Devante Cole was falling down into the roof of the net for Motherwell 2, Dundee United 2, which I think, given the displays with each team in each half, Dundee United most dominant in the first, Motherwell more dominant in the second. A tail between the two teams. Seeing I think a fair draw nonetheless. Fifth and penultimate game for this episode is Celtic versus St Johnstone. Celtic opened the scoring through David Turnbull, which initially was a free kick laid off to him from Ryan Christie, putting it in, I think it was far post, past Slamal, who's on currently an emergency loan from Hearts. Before, I think it was less than a minute later, it was a long ball from Scott Brown from just inside the St Johnstone half to play in Edward. Edward one touch out or inside, chipped Slamal for 2-0 within I think it was just about a minute from when they went 1-0 up. After that, next 20 minutes going into half time, nothing really much happened for either team, but was a cruise control situation for Celtic. Before, not long later in the second half, I think 15 to 20 minutes later, going 3-0 up, after St Johnstone failed to clear the lines from a corner, which, at the end of the day, you've got to clear your corners, or, like it was, Mikey Johnson slips in Christopher Ayer for 3-0, deflected effort, as all these goals seem to be in this week's of fixtures, deflection after deflection, but ultimately just killed off St Johnstone entirely before a very late goal, maybe the 87th minute from Kilmarnock and Bailey. Good, after coming off the bench as a substitute, David Turnbull played him in, great ball from a tight angle, and seen Celtic secure another 3 points, which isn't really good either for them now. They lost the league weeks ago, they couldn't drop below second weeks ago, so it's just whatever. The final game for episode 2 is game 6, Kilmarnock versus St Mirren. Kelly started off the game strong, going 1-0 up in around about the 10th minute through Kyle Lafferty, where it was from a corner. Chris Burke, instead of playing it in, he just hit it, smashed it straight across through a Kyle Lafferty goal, which caught, I think, the defence sleeping for St Mirren, but probably what Kelly deserved at the time. After that, the first half was extremely poor. Nothing much really happened apart from goal kicks and throw-ins. To then, I think it was 10 minutes into the second half, to when it was a good first-line delivery, left-footed in to the box from Callum Waters to meet the head of Kyle Lafferty to put Kelly in a 2-0 cruise control situation, which they ultimately failed to hold on to, as minutes later Jamie McGrath came off the bench to score, to put one back after his initial shot was blocked, to then score his rebound at the second time of asking. And then obviously Kelly trying to see the game out, tried to do a bit of tactical genius, but Tommy Wright not really known for that as of late, obviously. With Kelly scrapping relegation, you can't really expect that from a team. I think that with some stuff that they can work on over summer, stuff that will stop. Not long later, they threw the lead away. Callum McPherson, thunderbolt of a shot. Well worked move from St Mirren, played it in. Firstly for McPherson, slammed it in, tap right, for about 25-30 yards out, which in the start of the second half for St Mirren, thoroughly deserved with obvious reason. The next 20 minutes went by, it was a bit shaky for both teams, I would think, before then Greg Kelty from a failed clearance from a corner from St Mirren to then striker volley from about 16-17 yards out to put Kelly 3-2 up with just less than 10 minutes to go. But as Kelly did, they threw it away yet again. The second time they led in the game, threw it away to then Colin Quorn, I think it was. Sorry, some of the fans if I butchered his name. let me know in the comments how you say it. But also, very poor defensive display from Kelly, especially for that goal. Ball down the channel, played into the box, couldn't clear. Colin corner pulled it back 4-3-3, resulted then the game was over not long later, which saw Kelly drop a vital 3 points. Well, I dropped an extra 2 points, which would have seen them confirming Hamilton Accies relegation to the Scottish Championship. It would have meant that all that they would have had to do was better Ross County's result against Motherwell on Sunday to avoid relegation altogether. But now they need to beat Accies and hope Ross County do not travel to Motherwell on Sunday and beat them, so that they do not need to go in the playoffs, which as of right now it looks like it will be Dundee in the playoff final as they lead 3-0 from the first leg against Raith Rovers. That is the end of episode 2 of the SPL Roundup. It was obviously a midweek week of fixtures, Wednesday, and we're going this directly almost 24 hours after, with then getting it edited tonight up for you people tomorrow. So with that, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave video suggestions in the comments below. But with that, I'll catch you for the next one. Hope you enjoyed the video, hope you had a good week. Catch you for Monday, and goodbye. Peace.